Welcome to the second episode of the Star Trek channel that is as yet unnamed. This week we have Steven again, and then we have also Megan and Tom, our guest hosts. Are these new to you? Is this the first time you're watching these, or are you kind of like?
Yeah, I've saw like reruns here and there. So like these older episodes are like new to me. I am new generation. So that's how I really got hooked into Star Trek. So if you see me like suddenly geek out and stuff like that, yeah, it's because I'm like, oh my god, and this happened, and then, so if you need me to calm down, it's okay. You can tell me that.
No, you're good. I like the enthusiasm is good. But I'm glad that it's kind of cool that you're, discovering these old ones as I'm kind of rediscovering it. Because Steven and our parents used to watch these all the time, and so we would watch them with them, and so I've seen a lot of them, and it's kind of coming back to me now as we're going through it.
Yeah, I haven't seen really the old ones. I've only seen like a couple of them, so for me it's like brand new watching the old ones. So it's been kind of interesting.
Yeah. The good thing is that there's like a million. There's like 700 something. If you count all the movies and all the episodes for every show, there's like at least 700 something. So there's no dearth of material here for a show like this. The second episode of Star Trek, the original series that we have reviewed, is called The Man Trap. Basically, one of the Monster of the Week type episode where there was a monster and it was killing people, and they had to figure out how to solve this problem. So does anyone want to go first? So that's the first scene. Anyone have any thoughts or want to take it away?
There's not a billion people on the bridge. There are actual good investments in the screens. There isn't paper or someone with a clipboard. So yes, this is the future. There should be no paper. Visual displays, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they're not going to print anything out.
You got introduced to like a lot of people where their actual backgrounds are introduced through dialogue, which was really smart, which I like. Mr. Spock and Uhura. I'm not saying her name right, probably. But, just that little playful dialogue just shows personality, which I like. And it wasn't like we're going to share the plot through this dialogue. It's just showing who they were a little bit. And it just started to build the world a little bit just by saying who they were, where they were from through this banter.
Right. So there was at least 4, iconic characters that were introduced early on. Kirk, Spock, McCoy, and Uhura.
Sulu was in there too, but he was some sort of botanist.
I don't know what that was about. Not only was he the botanist, but that blonde-haired woman was his assistant, I guess. A yeoman, whatever a yeoman is. I didn't quite understand what the relationship there was, but yeah, maybe Sulu got promoted later on from botanist to
Red officer.
Guy who drives a starship.
I don't know if it was like the first scene or not, but when Uhura was like talking to Spock, it was like seems very odd. It was like she was being very like flirtatious with him, and he's just like, what? I mean, as he should be. He's not like super emotion guy. I was like, why is she like flirting with him? I don't know. It was just an awkward conversation, I thought. So
I think they were using that to like try to explain without explaining, like taking 5 minutes to be like, hey, this is a Vulcan. He has no emotion. He comes from a planet of people with no emotions. They were just like, all right, let's do it real quick. And just we'll have somebody hit on him. And just have him be dead.
Yeah.
So they're on the planet trying to meet these people. Kirk is teasing McCoy about his old flame and saying that you should take her some flowers, and he grabs some weeds and tries to hand them to McCoy. And then they get in there, and the husband's there, and then the wife's there, and they all see a different version of this wife. And I guess they also brought one of the random guys. They didn't quite start doing the red shirts yet, but he was a red shirt. Well, there were several destined to die in this one. They didn't quite learn their lesson. People just kept dying.
Yeah.
And, so any thoughts on that first scene?
The guy was like hitting on his wife, like, you look like a girl that I spent some time on some other planet, like really inappropriate stuff. Like he wasn't using his brain, and like Kirk was like, you go outside, do something, like collect some samples. I think that was like the reasoning behind it, because he was making a jackass of himself.
Go collect some samples was like,
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like,
get out of here.
yeah. So I think that's what happened. But I just knew, like, oh, he's so gonna die. And the first red shirt begins.
I was just saying, like, I thought it was interesting how, like, the shapeshifter was appearing to all three of them differently around the same amount of time. Like, she had all this power to, like, see into their memories and, like, change herself, like, all at once. Like, that seemed a little implausible to me. I don't know.
You got a good point there, because the rest of the episode, she can only really change into one person at a time. Like, right? Doesn't that seem like she's staying one character the entire time? Why was she all of a sudden three characters at once? Yeah, good point.
Well, and she also, like, for most of the episodes, stayed as the, like, older version, I guess, of the wife, right? Like, she didn't, like, she wasn't looking at, I don't know, like, just the way they showed her in the once they were back on the ship, she was always looking like the older woman of the three different women, right?
It was because it was feeding off like memories or thoughts. Like the more memories it could feed off, like the more it can do. It became the old Nancy because of Dr. McCoy. It only briefly became other things because of the brief interactions with other people.
That's true, yeah, because she never met Uhura before, but she somehow was able to read her mind enough to conjure that sexy dude out of nowhere.
He was okay. He wasn't that sexy.
I think for the 60s, she was.
I mean, especially his Swahili.
Yeah, and I guess she was able to do a slightly more sophisticated job on McCoy. But yeah, I don't really know how her powers worked. I mean, she didn't actually change herself since she was appearing three different ways, so it was just she created some kind of illusion in the mind. I don't know. Maybe we're thinking too deep into it.
Does anybody else think that, like, she sucked all the salt out of people? She killed, like, several different people, and yet she still wanted salt.
How much salt does she need?
Some amount of salt that was, I mean, like, that's a lot of salt.
Yeah.
I don't know if she was storing it up for the winter. I don't know how.
Yeah, right.
How it works. I mean, they were living off salt pills for a while, and then all of a sudden she just has, that wasn't enough, and she had to eat like 6 guys to get enough salt. And then she was still at the end, Kirk was tempting her with that salt.
Well, and Tom had made a good point of pointing out, like, the doctor, like, pulled out a bag of salt tablets, like, while they were still on the planet. And, like, so why did they still have, like, so many left? And why hadn't, like, she eaten them?
Well, it would explain why there was no more salt on the planet whatsoever. If they're eating this much salt on a daily basis, like, what is she eating? Like 30 pounds of salt in a day? That would explain why there's no more salt left on the entire planet.
Yeah, I know. Isn't salt a pretty natural element that is probably on, I don't know, most planets? I mean, they're breathing oxygen, so there was plenty of that. Like, how many guys did they need to sacrifice to figure out what was going on? I mean, at some point they would have implemented like a buddy system, I would think, instead of just sending people out into the wilderness.
All right, can I say something? Because you just reminded me of something. When they finally like say, all right, the ship's in danger, like red alert, the people's reaction to the alarm was so mixed. It was I couldn't stop laughing. Because there's people like jumping and it's red alert and they're running all over the place, and there's some people are just slowly like walking, and some people are just like speed walking, and I swear to you, someone was smiling at the camera like I was like, come on, people, be on the same page.
That's how it is with extras when they're on like their 17th take and they just want to go home because they're only getting paid like $14 for the whole day. One theme that was very similar to the initial pilot was the concept of a pleasant illusion versus an unpleasant reality. The monster took on the form of this guy's wife, which that's kind of a weird codependent relationship thing right there. But the idea that the monster, out of compassion or whatever, for him not killing it, I guess, took on the form of this guy's wife, and he was like, close enough. But, because otherwise he'd have to face the idea that his wife was dead. And that was, a similar premise to the cage, where the woman that was on that planet, she chose the same kind of illusion rather than, leave the planet and face the truth or whatever. So I don't know. That's probably about as philosophical as this one got. The monster at the end, though, I don't think I could get that out of my head, even if she, no matter what form she took, I don't think I could get that, because that was not an attractive mate, if you will.
Definitely not what I was expecting.
Yeah.
Oh, can I say something about reactions? Two of the best reactions were like the Dr. McCoy and I forget the blonde's name about the dead bodies. 2 seconds looking over the body. Oh, they're dead. Like, what?
Yeah.
This is the future? Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah. No attempt to not only resuscitate them or anything, but even to bring them onto the ship. There's at one point, I can't remember what scene it was, but they went down, they found a dead guy, they came back, and then as he's walking past the engineer, he's like, there's a dead body down there, and there's like, look at him. They just left him, in the sand on the rock or whatever it was.
Why did it suddenly kill the husband, who it sort of like needed the love from it? Do you think it got killed, like that she killed it because she suddenly had McCoy's love?
Yeah, she was going to trade him off for McCoy. That's the impression I got.
That's what you thought it as? Because I was it was weird. Like, he was lovesick, man. He was just like, couldn't see reason.
After all this guy did for the monster for at least a couple years since his wife died, and then he totally covered for her the whole time she was killing everybody from the Enterprise, and then randomly she just kills him because I guess McCoy's back. I don't know. I think that was a little weird. You're right.
I think it's because it panicked because it was going to be subject to truth serum, and then it knew, oh well, there goes my cover. So it's like, I love you, but I gotta survive.
That makes sense. Megan, you had an idea that we should do?
Yeah, it's basically what Steven just said. Like, my idea was, like, the shapeshifter totally did not look like what I was expecting. And so my idea was, like, we all take, like, 1 minute to draw what we thought it was going to look like and then hold it up. So I thought we could take, like, just, like, a minute, draw something really fast, and then show our beautiful artwork.
Give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Yeah. I have just the thing. I have what I think is a minute glass. Hey. So I'll set this up, and let me see if I can set it somewhere.
Steven thought you might be cheating and getting Luke to draw it for you.
No. You'll see the full glory of my artistic ability here. Steven, you got something to write with or draw with?
Oh, I got something to write with.
All right. So.
Oh, hold on, my pen's not working. Okay.
Hold on. The video. There we go.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right, here we go.
Okay. I'm going to put more effort in this.
Timer's long.
It may be more than a minute. I don't know what this is.
I don't think I'm going to add any more to mine.
Yeah, I think I've reached the apex of my creative abilities here. All right, who wants to go first?
I'm gonna rip the Band-Aid here. So here's my, I don't know if you can even see it. Here's my masterpiece here.
Oh, I see it.
Salt. Very nice.
I want salt.
Yes.
Are those like tubes coming out of her head?
Tubes from the head, like little suckers.
All right.
Little thin body and claws.
Very nice. Very nice.
Very good.
All right.
No, it's not.
Exactly like mine.
Oh, okay.
Mine's this.
Oh, hey.
All those things are like sucker thingies, and like the stuff on his cheeks is like dried up salt.
Oh man!
Right.
All right, Steven?
My art isn't as good, but I thought. Let's see if you can see it. I thought more like withered, skull-like.
I can't see
Lady.
it. Are you?
Can you hold it a little closer?
You sure
I
you
know.
can't?
I didn't use pen.
Hey, can you turn it around?
You turn it around.
Are you holding it the wrong way? I can barely see it.
I know. I used pencil. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Oh.
Okay. Well, that'll explain it.
But,
It has
but I
gigantic
thought it was just going to
eyes.
be like a withered skull-like. I thought it was still going to be a female somebody, but I was just like a withered skull-like, dried up, desiccated sort of looking
Okay.
stuffy corpse.
Okay.
Well, I don't. This is what I got.
An aardvark?
Yeah. Well, it's it's supposed to be the sucker snout thing, I guess. I put a tear there because how sad she was that she was the last of her kind.
Oh, that's nice.
Well, thank you to Tom and Megan for being on here as guest hosts, and for Stephen being here again. It was a good time. And Megan, that was a super good idea about the monster drawing. We're gonna have to do a gimmick like that each time. So once again, this is insert name of channel here. And please click like and subscribe, and we will see you all next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Still not working. I thought I'd give it another shot.
Still looking a little scary there, Nate.
No,
Well,
black teeth. It's not working. I'll get a green screen.